Folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch another Truck Talk with Travis. Why? Because I'm really busy today and I'm trying to kill multiple birds with one stone. So as I'm running errands and doing stuff, making videos at the same time. I had some guy this morning comment, and I'm not necessarily picking on the guy that did it, although, he's probably a troll. Don't you have a real job? My friend, I wish I just had one real job, because my day typically starts working, not waking up, but working around 6:30, and most evenings I'm busy working till around 11:30 or 12. Yes, intermittent times I'm doing things with the family or for the family or around the homestead, but just between these videos, the stuff that I do with the community, and side jobs that I do to bring in a little extra income, 12 to 14 hours a day is on the light side for me. So yeah, I wish I just had a regular old 9-to-5 job. I had those for years, and now I'm just swamped all the time. But anyways, and don't think that it all is making lots of money. If you're interested, hey, speaking of, I know some of you just love it when I do these little plugs. You're okay with, giving all your time and money to YouTube and Facebook and all these, because they're making money off of you. You don't think it. You may not be paying it, but I assure you, Google, YouTube, all of them, Twitter, they're making money off of you being online. You're okay with that, but if folks like myself plug something, you don't like it. But anyways, if you want to know a little bit more of the personal side of us and what we do and just our lives, my wife and I did make a live stream. We're very private people, but we opened up a little bit over on Locals. There's a link below. You can join up to Locals. It's $3 a month. My goodness, you can't even buy a junky communist coffee for $3. But it's $3 a month. A couple weeks ago we did a live stream, a lengthy one, just opening up a little bit about our personal lives and what we're doing on a local basis and all that. So you can get a lot more information that way. Because that's what I'm doing today. I'm doing community. Today's a community day. I'm making a few videos, and then I'm just running stuff and doing things and getting ready for other community events. Aside from all that, it's not even the naysayers. I mean, it's definitely the naysayers, but I think most of us often are questioning our mind that are we becoming too hyped up emotionally to all this stuff? Is the sensationalism of things that are happening getting to us, and that's why we're potentially overreacting and thinking that the end is nigh. The sky's falling. That's every other day anymore. I mean, 20 years ago, don't you remember like those made-for-TV movies and how the news would, there would be some event and it'd be round-the-clock news coverage for days because something was such a big deal, whether it was a standoff or a mass shooting or some child getting stuck in a well or some big hurricane blowing through, because it was so rare that these traumatic things happened that, the whole world would be watching it for days. Now, those things happen every few minutes. They just happen. The whole train derailment in Ohio captured the world's attention for days, and yet things of that nature has happened actually several times around the world since then, and they trend for a few minutes. They get their 15 minutes of fame trending online, and then that's it. But are we overreacting? Do we see all this stuff so much that it's causing this, our adrenaline is constantly elevated? Do we get this dump of adrenal and we're just, we're all gonna die, the world's ending? And then there's those that are like, this is just how things are, it's a cycle. It'll level out eventually. I'll admit at times I'm constantly trying to put myself in check, because I don't want to be the one leading the bandwagon of sensationalism. Because there are definitely those out there on both sides, the left and the right. There are characters out there in the media that is capitalizing on the sensationalism. You know, that's not just a far left fake news thing. It's happening on both sides, and you have to be cautious of it. But when you stop and you see all the stuff that's going on, that's moving, I can't help but think that and believe and know that we are in a different time period. This is not normal. And also, when we see things that are happening that we know are dramatically going to change our world, and the mainstream media is not talking about it. You know, they'll talk to you about, you know, if you turn. I haven't watched mainstream news, and I don't know how many years. I mean, I see little postings online on things, but like actually watching it. But you know, you turn on mainstream news, and they got to let you know that the Taylor Swift, you know, tour is sold out, or so-and-so's got a new video that's just, you know, oh, it's crazy, or just stuff that no one cares about. Absolutely no one, you know, oh, so-and-so fell asleep, or Obama did this, or, you know, DeSantis did this, and it's always something to catch your attention. In the grand scheme of things, most of those things, I mean, they may make us chuckle or something or roll our eyes, but you know good and well they mean nothing, right? They just mean nothing. They're simply distractions. And they're distracting you because there are important things going on. Like I mentioned this morning, this BRICS summit, American news media is pretty much, it's a blackout on it. They are not talking about it. Wouldn't you think that they should be talking about that? I mean, this is a pretty big deal. I mean, even if the BRICS thing doesn't end up being quite as big an ordeal as some of, you know, myself and other people think, it's still worthy of being discussed on the news, but yet they're not talking about it. The numerous wildfires and chemical fires and industrial fires and building fires and agricultural fires that have been going on for months now and appear to be actually picking up speed, becoming more normal. How many, you know, hours has the news spent talking about that, questioning that, looking into it, investigating it? Where's all the investigative journalists? They don't exist anymore. All they do is they, you know, read the script that they're handed, and every one of them are reading the same script. That, it should be enough for most people to say, you know what, something is up. And that's unusual. The fact that you're paying so much more for things, and you're being told the opposite. I mean, just the act of lying over something that's so obvious should be very suspicious. You know, when your children, for those of you that are parents, I'm sure that all of you can understand this. When your children lie to you about something, or, you know, just deceive you about something that seems so simple that it makes no sense why they would do that, that's typically an indication that they're trying to cover up something. And so when we've got the president, the White House, and everything lying to you constantly, oh, the economy is so great. Why, it's the best Biden economics in American history. I mean, prices are so much lower. There's so many more jobs. The economy's doing great, when there is not one single person in this country that believes that. I mean, even the left, some of the most leftist news organizations, like the Washington Post or whichever one, they're calling Biden the Pinocchio or something like that, because he lies so often about this stuff. There are numerous videos online, Twitter and TikTok and all these others, YouTube, everywhere, of liberals talking about, now they may not be blaming Biden, but they're so concerned with the economy so bad that it's costing them so much money. They can't afford to live. They can't afford to pay their bills. They can't afford to buy groceries. There's no one in America that thinks the economy is doing great. None. Period. Zilch. Everyone knows the economy is doing really bad. Everyone knows that people are struggling. And yet the White House is constantly spinning this absurd lie, not even remotely believable, that everything's okay. It's all okay. I feel like I'm rereading the book 1984 once yet again. Because that's what they're doing. Oh no, this is peaceful. Remember that 3 years ago? These are peaceful demonstrations. Don't mind the buildings in the background that's burning, and see those guys over there on that car jumping on it, smashing the windows out. Ignore that one too. Oh, those guys over there that's beating up and murdering that security guy, former police. No, that's peaceful too. This is peaceful, folks. This is peaceful. This is absurd. And if those of you that are kind of on the fence of how bad things are and where we're going, don't see that. Don't see the absurdity, the outright lies. If they are willing to so boldly lie to you, and no one calls them out on it, and if they do, they shut them down or kick them out of the press corps, that is enough for me to know that there's more things going on. When there's smoke, there's fire. And if they're lying about the most obvious things that not a person on this planet agrees and believes they're lies, then there's something up. And I'm just speaking of one thing. There's so many. I could make hours-long documentaries if I had the time. If you think that the world is fine, everything's okay, nothing bad is happening, or that this is just going to blow over, then you're not paying attention very hard. You've bought too much of the Kool-Aid, drank too much of it. How bad is the collapse going to be? I don't know. When will it happen? I don't know. But it's going to happen. And the longer it takes to happen, this is true with many things. The longer it takes to happen, typically the greater the fall will be. And this fall has been going on for many years now, way before COVID pandemic, way before. They've been propping up the banks and the dollar and stuff for decades now. I believe the fall is going to be hard, really hard, because there's been so much propping things up and so many band-aids put on it. And the other factor is that the great majority of this population, they can't even figure out how to pump their own gasoline. They don't even know where milk comes from. It's pathetic. They can't even cook a meal. If you watch these ridiculous videos of these people trying to show you how to cook, you know, throwing Doritos chips and just ridiculous, stupid stuff in the oven, like, oh, look, this is how you make mac and cheese. That's the world we live in. And you really think that when their dollar can't buy anything, or they can't even afford their communist coffee, or their cell phones don't work, or they can't afford them anymore, or they can't drive anywhere because they can't get gasoline, do you think these people are going to be mentally stable enough to handle that? That they're just going to, their natural survival instincts are just going to kick in and they're going to be okay? That's crazy. And if you think that I'm calling you crazy, then if the shoe fits, wear it. Folks, we're watching like the biggest just ball of poop being built. And at some point it's going to fly all over that fan. And all these people have been sitting back for years saying, it's okay, we're so big, it's okay, we'll make it, we'll bail it out again, it's all right, we'll distract them a little bit longer with this, it's okay, the next big thing will happen and it'll shift it, we'll just create something new that, it doesn't last forever, folks. It's an unsustainable system. And it's gotten so blown out of proportion that when it does fall, it's going to be bad. I don't know when that's going to happen, and I don't know what it's going to look like. But the rate at which things are getting insane and absurd, my best guess is that fall is coming much sooner than later. Probably months or maybe a few years. I doubt it's generations or decades away. So if you don't see that and start preparing, and I don't know what to tell you, because it's going to get bad for you soon enough. You need to be getting ready, taking it serious. Camera's getting all shaky here. Because when it starts falling, it's too late to prepare. When the masses start running to the grocery stores to buy up all their toilet paper and their diet sodas, it's too late for you to go stock up on things. When the gas stations are loaded up with people for miles trying to get their gas like they are in California and Hawaii right now, it's too late. It's too late to stock up. When the crowds are burning the cars and running through the cities and looting, it's too late at that point to stock up. So if you don't start getting ready now, you're going to be in a world of hurt eventually. You need to be getting your houses in order and preparing yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.